Hey, did you know that I've only been coming out of this bookcase for a year now? And holy man, what a year it's been. This has been just an absolutely epic ride so far.
Saddle up, partner.
And I want to share some of my experiences and my journey and answer some of your questions for what this last year has been. So for those of you that don't know, my name is Hugh. I am the owner of Hewman Made, located in Calgary, and this is my story. So for those that know me and really know me, you're gonna know two different kinds of people most likely. You're gonna know the one that can talk forever and not shut up.
Will you shut up, man?
Listen.
Which is probably gonna be me today. And you're gonna know the one that's just gonna sit quietly and listen to your conversation, listen to your story. Just be there, be helpful, and really be quite introverted. So in an attempt to not just talk this entire time about random things, I asked you guys for questions. Yeah, I printed them.
PC load letter? What the fuck does that mean?
Like, how old am I? Oh, I can't open the paper. So, we're gonna try and keep this on topic, on point, and we'll see how far off the rails we go. It's gonna be an adventure, just like everything else.
I'm going on an adventure!
From SnappingDragonLeather. What gave you the confidence to quit your job and do this full time? It's a big leap and I'm envious. Well, this is an interesting story because I didn't take this leap intentionally. Surprise, surprise, 1 year ago today, I was fired from my corporate IT job at a local credit union. So I just got fired. I had worked there for almost 6 years, and I walked in 1 year ago today to my boss and HR saying, "We're done with you. You can pack up your desk and you can get out." That was a really interesting day. It really showed that corporate life really doesn't care about you as a person. My workload increased 350% for the last 2 years with no help, no backup, no support. You are just a number, and at any point, they will just decide that they're done with you.
You're fired.
What?
So it kind of made it a really easy decision for me at that point to go all in with Hewman Made. It's a business that I had been working on growing for a couple of years. I had already had things like my website and YouTube going and set up, and a decent following on Instagram. I took that opportunity to be happy with life instead of be depressed working in a stale office drone environment full of depression and anxiety and really little to no support from the people who I thought were there to help and support. That's what gave me the inspiration to jump out and start my own business. It was a pretty big leap, I will say. It's been scary. It's been a lot of work, long hours, late nights. It's 11 o'clock, one more corner. And at the end of the day, wouldn't trade it for the world, because no part of me ever wants to set foot in one of those open office, stale corporate environments again. Next question from Carrie Apadora. Have you lived anywhere else? Pretty sure you're in Calgary. Yeah, I am. Yeah, I am a Calgary native. I am born and raised in Calgary, and I love it here. It's about an hour away from the mountains. I can go on motorcycle rides and just get out into the woods and into the mountains, and it's absolutely lovely. The only other places that I might go and live is somewhere by an ocean, like Vancouver Island is gorgeous, or maybe go back to my roots and go to Iceland. That'd be pretty wild. Next question is from Lindazuss. What inspired you to go into this particular business? Well, I've been doing woodworking since I was in junior high school. I think I started, I guess it's 25 years ago now. And it was always just a lot of fun. I liked making things, I liked building things, I liked designing and creating and making something tangible, something you can hold, something you can interact with. Over my years of working in IT and working on ATM machines and pharmaceutical equipment and security equipment and parking systems and then at a credit union and all of those IT-based jobs, I still always came back to woodworking. I also integrated into doing some leather work and I fell in love with that too. So being that it was always a passion, that it was always a hobby, that it was always something that I really loved and enjoyed, it made it really, really easy to decide to do it full time. To make that what, inspires me to wake up in the morning, to walk down those stairs, to walk into my shop, to walk into my studio and push myself to really keep going. Because at the end of the day, if you're doing something that you're passionate about, you don't want to stop. And I don't want to stop doing this. You're good. Oh no. From Firamiel.Music, what is the most difficult piece you've made? That's a great question. I think that it's a tie between two, but in two completely different ways. One of them is actually this table that I'm sitting at right now. My buddy Johnny and I were lucky enough to get invited to take part in the Maker Collab competition last year, and we designed and engineered this game table. You can go check that out by clicking on the link and go and watch that process and that build and that adventure.
This is what happens when you invite guests into your shop, I guess.
That's what I'm dealing with. Never collaborating again. The other project that was huge for me this year was the redwood burl resin table that I made for my friend Tika at Golden Griffin Tattoos. You can just go check her out, go get a tattoo, she's awesome. This was the first big resin pour project that I had ever done. I didn't know overly what I was doing, but I watched some videos and I figured it out, and I got some great support from Total Boat. Was supplying me with some resin for this project, and I just did my best. And I think it turned out absolutely amazing. I messed up a lot. I had to resand a lot. I had to refinish a lot. But in doing that, I learned a lot. I learned so much more than if I just got it right the first time. And so I'm so thankful for that. But it was a really big project to get done. I think those two projects were huge for me this year, and I am so excited for other big, massive, insane projects to come down the line this year. I can't wait. Question, ThecultofTeak. Why don't you like seafood? Well, Teak, let me just tell you. It's not that I don't like seafood. It's that seafood doesn't like me.
What is this?
Along with alcohol and lactose. Those things they don't like me. So in return, I don't like them back. From the biggest troll in the world, is Matt Black your biggest inspiration for life? No.
Never, not in a million years, absolutely not. No way, Jose, no chance, Lance, yet, negatory, nah, and of course my own personal favorite of all time, man falling off of a cliff. No!
Do you sometimes feel you are the less important, usually forgotten part of Matt Hugh? No.
No.
No. No. No. No. No.
No.
No. No. No.
When did you realize you couldn't flip glue bottles? Well, to me, it ain't about the flip, it's about the landing. Yes! Ha! So, Matt, if you can stop using fishing line and magnets and, land the flip, that'd be great to see. From the unofficial Nasia. I'm sorry if I pronounced that wrong. What material have you not worked with yet? Now that's fun. So this year has been an absolutely amazing year. I've had opportunities to work with things that I've never worked with before. The wonderful people from Keen Utility invited me down to Portland in September, and on that trip I got to do pottery with my friend Erin. She taught me how to kind of make things. I didn't do a really good job. You can go and watch, it's wildly inappropriate. I also got to forge boots and build boots and forge a crowbar, which was absolutely amazing. Superb. But to answer your question, the one material that I haven't worked with yet that I am dying to work with is glass. I am completely mesmerized and confused by glass blowing and glass sculptures. I truly don't know how they do it. It's magic, it's sorcery to me. I don't know if I'll ever understand it, and I would love to do it. So maybe this year I will get to do some glass blowing, which would be absolutely insane. It'd be great. Question from Panzy. Was there a particular project where you realized, hey, I could do this for a living? I think there was, and I think it was this awesome growth chart, but this was actually a project that I did for Panzy. But I don't think that, that it's been one project specifically. I think that it's been the experience of making projects for people. The reactions that I get when I give somebody that project, such an amazing feeling. The smile on their face, the happiness that they feel.
Love it. Holy shit.
The joy really brings me excitement, and getting to do that for as many people as I can is truly inspiring. So it's not one thing, it's all the things. From Bradwicky. How do you figure out which tools you need versus which tools you need? It's a great question. I actually talked a little bit about this in a podcast I did with Around the House with Eric G that you can check out down in the description, about tools and about what we need versus what we think we need. For me, it's always been the buy the cheapest one of the thing you need. Of the thing you need? Whichever, buy it. The cheapest one, and see how much you're gonna use it. If you use that tool every day, if you wear that tool out in a month, in a year, then you know that it's really something that you're going to use a lot. So then go buy the most expensive one or the best one of that tool, because you know it's gonna be worth it. I think there's a lot of people out there that think they need a $5,000 jointer, or you know, a $20,000 CNC, or a $500 saw, or a $700 sander. Go back 100 years, go back 200 years, people didn't have any of those tools, and go and look at the stuff that they were making, and it was absolutely beautiful and gorgeous. So don't be afraid to buy used tools, probably within reason. I have a lot of used tools in my shop that I bought from secondhand stores that I've had for 10 years, and they work great, and I don't use them enough to upgrade them to a brand new tool yet. How long did it take you to grow those gorgeous locks of yours? Asking for a friend. All right there, Ozziimo. Well, if you are asking for a friend, your friend is a rock star. Hard stop. Rock star. So yeah, the locks that are all tied up so I can look pretty on camera today. So for many, many years, I actually had a buzzed head and all that, and I'm gonna show you all these pictures of things of me like way back in the day. And then one day I decided, you know, after 10 years of buzzing my head, then maybe I'm just going to grow out my hair. So I think I grew it for 2 to 3 years. I got it all nice and long, and spent my days being made fun of for having a man bun, which to anybody who made fun of me for having a man bun, well, shame on you, because maybe you're just jealous that I had hair, and you don't. So after growing my hair out for quite a while, I then went to the amazing Bonnie of Hippie Hair Dreadlocks, located in Calgary, and she spent many, many hours crocheting my hair and has been doing so for the last 2+ years now. So my locks have just turned 2, and I will say it's one of those things that I had wanted them for a very long time, since I was a teenager, and it took 15 to 20 years for me of thinking about it, of pondering, of contemplating, of should I not, all of this. And the day that I got them, I looked in the mirror and I actually felt like myself, which is a pretty wild experience. Really? Really? MosquitoWorkshop, does the carpet match the drapes? Well, let me tell you, sir, not only does the carpet match the drapes in color, also in length and style. Is that what you wanted to hear? From Orange Blake Art, how does Hewman feel about AI Man? I think AI is cool. I think the things that it can do is amazing, but I also think that it can get out of hand really, really fast. What we're seeing with the amount of art and digital creations and digital design happening these days that is taking away jobs from a graphic designer, I think is really sad. I think there's so much talent and so much skill in having that human influence in the design process, in the creation process. So it can be good in some instances and circumstances, and I completely embrace it. And if it's completely taking away jobs from people, I don't really like that much. From Loram.Ceramics, the financial side of all of this. Now, this is an interesting question. I personally am in a very lucky situation where I spent many, many years working extremely hard at jobs that did offer me overtime pay, and I used a lot of that to pay off a lot of expenses and debt and things to put myself into a position where I have very low monthly financial requirements. So that enables me to be able to do this full time, as my monthly expenses are very, very small. So things like pets. I don't have pets. I don't have kids. I mentioned I don't drink.
But why is the rum gone?
I don't really go out. I'm kind of introverted.
Uh-oh. What? People.
So it makes it really, really easy for any of the money that I have coming in from commissions or from contracts to fund my work and my business, where I know not everybody is able to do that, where it is a side hustle or it is a weekend thing for a lot of you. But don't give up. Don't give up on your dream, don't give up on your passion. And at the end of the day, if it means that you can only spend an hour a day, an hour a week in your shop, in your studio, in your closet, make the time to do that. Find that happiness and do it as much as you can. And then maybe one day, you'll have your own studio, you have your own shop, and you don't need to go into the office anymore. Next question from Circusker. I'm sorry if I said that wrong. How did you get good at the bookkeeping aspect when you went from casual sales to business? Well, that's a great question. I've only been doing this for a year, so I actually need to get into doing the taxes and doing the things and all that for year-end stuff, and to see if I actually did a good job with bookkeeping. Other than that is lists and tracking. I keep track of every single thing I purchase, of every single thing I sell, of every cent, every penny, every little bit of everything I track. So hopefully that will make it easier to do the bookkeeping stuff, but we'll find out. Do a good job. Write everything down?
Write that down. I don't have a pencil. Well, remember that then.
Really? What is the meaning of life? Happiness. You get one life to live. Do the things that make you happy. This is what happens when I'm left to my own devices. I'm ShallowCreekWoodCraft, fellow competitor in the Maker Collab competition, who made amazing Transcenergy floating magnet table, which was really cool. What about the craft makes you want to continue as a business? Happiness. It really is the answer. I'm the king of the world! what I was saying before about the joy and excitement of making something for someone. Someone who's happy!
Happy girl!
She's elated!
Happy girl. I am. I don't even know what to say. Like.
And the elation that I see when they open it up.
Oh my god!
It's a huge hit of like dopamine and endorphins and this huge rush, along with a lot of nerves and anxiety of, are they going to like it? There's a lot of stress that goes into that up until that moment when you know that they actually do like it. That joy in life is something that really pushes me to want to continue doing this, because it is so different than my life a year ago, being depressed, going into a stale office every day, doing the same repetitive task over and over and over with no gratitude, no thanks, just do more. And we're not gonna give you a raise. We're not gonna give you anything extra. We're not gonna give you any help. And when you say that you need these things, we're not gonna listen. And when you speak too much, well, then we're just gonna fire you. So being able to wake up every day and walk down my stairs, walk into my shop and make something for my amazing customers, my amazing clients, makes me want to do this forever. That's it for that. So, I do want to send a huge thank you to everybody that supported me this year. Whether you just watched my videos, whether you interacted with me, whether you talked to me, whether you hit that little heart button or that thumbs up, or all of those things help so much. So everybody that's been doing that, thank you for that. Anybody that's ordered something from me that I've got to make for you, it means the world to me. And lastly, I want to thank all my amazing corporate sponsors that have supported me this year. Keen Utility, Bad North America, SurfPrep Sanding, Total Boat. You guys have been incredible to work with, and I can't thank you enough for your support in providing me with product or materials. It's been amazing. I also want to thank Troy from Ruskyk Design and Skills Alberta for putting your trust in me to make products for your clients. It means a lot. So I hope you've enjoyed this Q&A session and learning a little bit more about me and my journey in the last year of going from fired to happy. So with that, here's a recap of a bunch of the projects that I did this year.
I've seen a lot of change, been through a lot of pain. Some things are not the same as they were a year ago, but all will be okay. I move on each and every day. The past is where it stays, way back a year ago. I've changed for the better this time. I thought I would never be fine. I strive just to say I'm alright, and for the first time in a long time I'm alright. I've seen a lot of change, been through a lot of pain. Some things are not the same as they were a year ago, but all will be okay. I move on each and every day. The past is where it stays, way back a year ago. I ain't going back, I'm not falling. I'll push all my chips and call all in. I'll bet on myself, you keep stalling. I hear destiny and it's calling. I'll keep my head up high through the downs and lows, and we're all going life. Still nobody knows, but I'ma choose what's right and take what comes and goes. And ain't no one in life holding me back no more. I've seen a lot of change, been through a lot of pain. Some things are not the same as they were a year ago, but all will be okay. I move on each and every day. The past is where it stays, way back a year ago.